Yeah, bring me. Thanks so much for making it tonight, for taking the time for yourself to be able to just connect with some other beautiful women tonight and some beautiful souls in replay land. So, welcome everybody who is listening to this right now. I've had a great week, and I'm hoping that you guys have also been doing well and having a good week. It has been an intense one. Um, I think it was about 10 days ago or so, there was this huge kind of solar eruption that happened on the back of the sun, and it happened sort of facing Neptune. And so for people that have horoscope signs that are Neptune rising or you're Neptunian, hey Heather, hey Kathy, welcome. Um, it can be sort of a little bit more intense for you this last 10 days or so. Hey, how's it going, guys? Nice to see you. That's awesome. So yeah, no matter what you're doing tonight, I'm gonna just kind of go through our little, cosmic overview, what's been going on, and tell you a little bit about why I chose to do the feminine energy tonight. Welcome, Kathy. Awesome to see you.
Hi.
Hi there. So yeah, that we had this huge kind of solar eruption, solar flare kind of thing happen about 10 days ago. So for some people, it's been a little intense. And this time, I can't remember if I mentioned this last week, but this time is actually quite a big shifting time in careers and sort of what we're doing for a living. A lot of people are making really huge changes, decisions, and what I've found is, our vibration is so important. Our I'm going to work on the universal laws next week because we have these 12 universal laws that are very important, and we don't really dive a lot into them unless you're actually looking for it. But you hear about it all the time, like simply like the law of gravity, the law of attraction, right? We deal with these laws on a daily basis, but sometimes we don't know we're dealing with them. But my favorite law is the law of vibration. And what that means is we really need to kind of look at what's going on. And this time, this seven planets in retrograde, all of this happening at once, this big sort of flare eruption thing happening. It's like it was marginal. Like they're going to be studying this in our lifetime. It hasn't happened like that before, where there was such a huge flare. And when you think about just collectively what's going on in the world, the way emotions are shifting with everything that's been going on, it's the ascension cycle has also shifted into the matriarchy and patriarchy, the alignment of things in politics. Like it's all these big shifts cosmically. Like this isn't just us in this little group. This is on a universal level, and there's a lot of people that know about this stuff. So my goal is always, my intention is always to kind of give you guys the Coles Notes version so that you sort of know what's happening right now and how you can best support yourself to go through these shifts that happen each week, and what is sort of going on. So this is our climbing into our who we want to be, shedding that sort of old skin per se of those beliefs that we had. And the feminine energy is a big one because truthfully, we've all had a mother who's had a mother who's had a mother's. This is where all of our cellular, our energetic, our structures, everything comes from. Of course, we have the masculine and the paternal as well, but it's not just about mother father energy. It's about that that feminine versus masculine, which are very different and not gender specific at all. So whether you're a man or a woman, we have this masculine and feminine energy. And when they can work together, that is vibrational alignment. That is, feeling balanced. That is not feeling like you're doing things all the time and just never seeing the results, like uh, I've heard on many different levels from mothers this week just maybe it's for in Canada, schools starting here, in the States, I know schools started just not long ago. It's overwhelming. You got all the sports are starting. The big thing is that for 2 years, things have been really on the down low in a lot of cases. And we've kind of had this break from everything. And now we're rushing back into, so not only cosmically are things kind of a little um, sort of wacky, to say the least. Hey, Heather, welcome. Nice to see you. We also have all of these other energies that are sort of a little wacky right now, too. So, us staying grounded and us staying balanced and us sort of feeling like we're coping and managing each day is huge. So, when we really stop and kind of take a look at where we are right now, where we want to be, we need to assert that we did set a lot of this up. And if we're not moving towards where we are, our masculine energy may have been a little overwrought with all this collective community energy because it's been very masculine dominated. If we think about even the fact that everything that we do is based on the circadian rhythm, which is based on male um, hormone levels and the way that they operate, our 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 whole lives we've sort of been um, modeled after what worked for men. And now we're starting to kind of come into this new energy where we understand how different it really is. And we, in fact, have an infradian cycle, not, well, we have a circadian rhythm too with our sleep and everything. But our infradian rhythm is the one that works with the moon cycle, your luteal phase, your follicular phase. So, like, I have courses that break it all down in case you really want to learn about hormones and how to sync and cycle to the moon and everything. But when, as a woman, we can tune into our infradian rhythm a little bit, even if we don't have a cycle anymore, it goes with the moon. So, right after the full moon, right now, we're in a follicular cycle where we're good at creating, we're good at purging and cleaning. And not only that, cosmically, right now, we're set to do this too. We have an eclipse coming up that is in the middle of October that's really kind of makes us start wanting to go through everything with a fine tooth comb. We start to get like, these piles are driving me crazy. I feel like this, it's almost like this little period where we can kind of settle in, get things set up so that we can kind of move forward properly into those last couple months of the year. Um, it's like everything is just sort of setting us up. And so if you're feeling that way, you're likely in alignment, you're likely in flow, you're likely sort of quite balanced, which is really a great thing because sometimes we don't feel like we are. And this brings me back to the feminine energy and the maternal wounds and the things that we still carry. I find a lot of when I'm working with clients, what happens is that we do move forward. We do move forward in really big ways, but we get to a point where we're moving forward, moving forward, moving forward, but we're still not reaping what we should be getting. We're not getting what we should be. We're watching other people and we're if we are noticing that other people are getting things and we're not, that also means we're not in vibrational alignment with just allowing it to happen. So this feminine energy is that allowance, that receiving. I do probably at least a few sessions a week with people who are like, I feel like I need to learn how to receive, like really like learn how to receive. And that's something that I struggle with as well, right? So it makes me explore it quite a bit. And when we really take a good look, I feel this is a time where we can actually really look and kind of go, oh, geez, I I do think I really want it, but there's always a little something. And if we don't know what it is, think about the fact that, we've talked about the monkey stories where monkeys are even the 100 monkeys, it's not Chris's story, but 100 monkeys later, there's still remembrance of things, even though they've never been introduced to it. Or with mice and the cherry blossom story I told you guys a little while ago, they only had to smell the cherry blossoms to know that there was danger impending, even though they had never had any actual danger from these cherry blossoms. Think about what women have gone through. Like, just think about what women have gone through. Anybody watch Outlander? Anybody, watch Downton Abbey? The things that women had to go through, and this, like, only in the last 100 years have we really started to um, become our own again, become powerful creators again. Think about a witch, right? Like a witch was literally burned at the stake because they were in the knowing. They tapped into their intuition. That's all a witch was. It was someone who was tapped into divine. And just because they didn't fall under the patriarchy of the religion of the people that were going to make the money off of instilling the fear of God into you, it didn't work with them, so they just killed them. Like, this actually happened to our ancestors not that long ago. And think about the stories and the think when we even take a moment, because acknowledging all of this, I'm not just dredging up, like awful things, but like when we think about this, when we really acknowledge all of the work, all of the mindset work, all of the self-development work that we do, is simply acknowledging what's going on consciously in our lives. Hey Smara, welcome.
Hi,
Nice to see you. We're just diving into some of the feminine energy stuff tonight, so it's always
awesome.
perfect timing. Awesome.
Good to be here. I'm going to mute myself
Ah,
now.
I love it. I love it. Um, so, to be able to tap into your feminine energy, for a lot of us, there's resistance there that we don't even know that's there, simply because it's not even ours. But then there's all that wounding, that energy exchange that has happened with the women in our lives. It may not be a maternal person. It may be a friend who judged you. It may be a mentor, someone that judged you. It may have been you that judged someone else. When we're in a judging phase, or we're looking at another woman and we're feeling jealous, or we're feeling like, why does she have it and I don't? That's why we don't have it, because we're in that vibration, because we're meant to be these women that straighten each other's crowns. We're meant to be these women that have this. I'm getting goosebumps just feeling all of you guys here right now. The tribe of, the coven of having women that you can exchange that good energy with and be in that collective energy. When you have that choice and you have that opportunity, it's such a beautiful thing. And so we're going to go into a meditation tonight where we are going to simply shed some of the things that are ready to just come up for treatment, whether it be around relationships or receiving in general, or just being able to be balanced and to be uncharged. Like, this week was intense in that I found myself, and I was very aware of it, that I was charged up about something. And this is just a really funny story, and I'm gonna have to share this with my daughter after, because it came to me in meditation today. In that, when we have kids, one of the things I was working with one of my clients was that she was really charged up about her teenager, was just really like self-absorbed, and they had someone pass away in their family, and the teenager was just like on their phone, like, yeah, I guess I'll go to the funeral. Like, totally not involved, not feeling horrible for everybody, not collectively getting super upset. She was just kind of worried about whether she was going to get back to be able to talk to her boyfriend on the phone. And her mom was just like, just really kind of not having a hard time with, feeling really not good about the way her daughter was acting. Like, she just couldn't believe that she wouldn't have compassion for other people. And one of the things that was really profound, that in a meditation, when we were working and sort of doing a process, it came to her that she really didn't feel like, she was very aware all of a sudden that her daughter was kind of maybe a little over on the other side of perhaps being a little bit selfish, but that she in fact had trained her daughter. Just, she was worried that she had done something wrong. She was worried that people would think she was a bad mom. And in fact, her daughter was, the fact that she wasn't getting so completely wrapped up in it, because she didn't know, she, like, it was a cousin, but they had met once, and it was her mom's cousin. So it wasn't a close sort of relative, but she was just upset that her daughter didn't show more emotion. And then she realized that she was an absolute wreck, and it was because she hadn't dealt with a death from before, and it actually had nothing to do with her daughter. And in fact, her daughter was acting perfectly fine. Her daughter is actually really quite grounded and knows her boundaries and doesn't get over involved and overexcited, and that was also something that was triggering her. So unpacking just all of this stuff in one session about just the way someone else is acting, we often think that someone's actions are, um, like a test or something like that. It's really just to sort of show us the vibration that we are operating on, and at this point that we're ready to shift. I don't know if that makes sense for you guys or if you've noticed any of this stuff, but what I got triggered by with my daughter, what brought up that story, was she got these fake nails. And like, fake nails are something that I've done as a job, but never wore. Like, I always was a massage therapist, so I never really got the opportunity. And she has been working, so it was her choice to spend her money on them, and she gave up some time. She had asked me to take her in to get them done, and so I did. But lately she's tapping them on everything, like just because they're these nails, right? And it was driving me crazy. And I was like, for the third time in one day, I was like, Jordan, because she was tapping on the fridge. But what she was saying, what set me off, she's like, where's my stuff? And it was because she had expected me to make her a lunch because she didn't get her butt out of bed. And so that's what it was all about. It wasn't about the nails, but it was enough to just trigger me. But because I can look at it, instead, she could have been completely crushed, and I could have been like, those effing nails, whatever it is. How much money we could have used that for a tank of gas instead. Like, I could have gone off on, because there's all sorts of stuff about, you know, she's feeling so feminine and beautiful, and she's just loving it. I love that she's loving it. And it didn't get into an argument where before, if I had just sort of gone off, it's easy with teenagers to just crush their little souls, and you don't mean to. And I think of all those things and all those times that, my mom was very judgmental, and that I was in the past judgmental on my kids inadvertently, not meaning to be, but like, I was treated with shame most of the time. So for me to, be able to go, oh, it must be nice to have nails or something, that would probably roll off very easily, but that's not something that I feel anymore, not something that was even in my vibration. But I was just really noticing where it could have gone versus where it ended up going. And I feel like, hey, Karen, welcome. Yeah, teenagers are a whole new ball game. And then there's the whole infradian rhythm on top of it too, because the one day that we were just kind of like butting heads, the next day it's like, Mom, I got my period. It's like, oh, that's why I felt like throttling you. It wasn't just me. Just talking about vibrations and how we do bring these things to us. And this time right now is, oh, you have a teenager too. Oh, I love it. So there's a reason I'm talking about teenagers. I never usually do, but yeah, it's been a fun week with just getting back to school. And mothers have been really overwhelmed, was where I was going with this. Mothers are just like, I feel like I do and I do and I do, and no one sees me. No one realizes, like, especially, with people I massage and stuff, they're like, I'm like limping around and they're still expecting breakfast, but we set these things up. We really do. We allow them, we show them exactly how they can treat us. And now this time is for setting some new boundaries. This sort of cosmic shift that we get to go through is for setting these new boundaries. And so I wanted to tap into the feminine energy, because these are about not so much the doing. We've all been doing, we've all been like going pretty hard on doing the work all the time, right? Like, really staying. I love it. Thanks, Karen. Thanks, Vera. Yeah, like it really feels like that masculine energy of August, because that's really what it was, is now sort of shifting, and September is more the receiving mode, the receiving energy. And when we have little blockages still, little things in our energetic field, in our, even just in our conscious and unconscious minds that are ready to be sort of harmonized and let go, we have so many beautiful archetypes that are women, like the teachers and, the healers. We have these divine powers that we can sort of tap into, and we get afraid to. And we don't even know why sometimes. Sometimes we do. We have actual reasons where people have told us, you might be crazy, or they may not agree, or we have that fear of being judged. So tapping into that divine feminine energy can be a really beautiful thing when you allow other women in. So allowing other women in to be able to join in that communicative, positive energy that you are both emitting and getting from. Because think about when you do actually spend some time with some really good women, like think about after a retreat, or right, like you're just so supercharged. Hey, Lana, welcome. So
Hi
nice to
there.
have you here.
Hi.
I'm just yabbering a little bit about the beautiful side of feminine energy and tapping into it a little bit, unblocking and clearing some old stuff so that we can just allow this beautiful feminine energy to really flow this month,
Yeah.
to really allow us to be able to finally turn on that receiving vibration. One really cool thing is if you like sound vibrations, if you go above about 430, 438, 432 are usually like feminine, masculine balancing type of vibrations. So after doing this, you can seek out some vibrational meditation music to sleep to tonight, to tap into your divine inner goddess a little bit more and balance that feminine and masculine energy. And it's really beautiful. Um, Also, doing the things like that, having a nice bath. I bought a tea that has rose in it the other day, like actual rose petals. And I've just been dispersing it in my bath. And like, it's hard to not feel like a goddess when you have the vibration of rose, which is, up over 300 megahertz as well, right? Like super, I love it. Law of attraction meditation. That's so good. I love these laws. These are universal laws. And the law of vibration, which I've just been talking about, is really that vibration of what we're emitting, what we're allowing. And that vibration is really affected by the overpowering of masculine or feminine. So this is a great way to just kind of be able to balance things out a little bit. When we think about the tapping into the feminine energy, I love just doing a little meditation where you are out in nature and you just notice for a couple of minutes, with breath work, noticing the air, noticing the roses. So good. um Apps for meditation. I use a lot of YouTube for meditations, because you can kind of dial in and sort of go through different ones that you want. I find I use different apps, but there's none that I've found that I would be like, yeah, I absolutely love this one. What's really fun and really great for tapping into the positive feminine energy is taking a song that you really love and doing some breath work to it. So there's a song called Let It Go by, oh gosh, whoever's in my group. Did we figure out who that was? John Gray, I think his name is. It's just this really nice sort of poppy almost song. And or a song that really kind of just touches your soul a little bit, that makes you happy, a song that makes you smile, a song that even makes you think of someone, as just a song you really kind of resonate with. To do a little bit of breath work where you're simply consciously breathing in and out every 4 beats. So you just breathe in for 4 and out for 4, and just kind of go along with the music. I can already feel my body releasing just thinking about it. It's so beautiful because you don't really have to stop and do anything. You can just do it while you're driving, even just sort of focus on that breath, just allowing it to kind of come in and out. I prefer to not meditate while I'm driving, but you know what I mean. You can engage in that beauty, that kind of tap into that vibration almost instantly by just listening to a really good song, sitting quietly, close your eyes, and just breathe. It's quite profound. It really is. There's mirror work that you can do where you actually um, stand in a mirror and you look at yourself and you actually look at your body and just think, geez, I just love my toes. Like you just pick something on your body that you really like. I just love my hands, or I just love my strong arms, or I just love that I can get up and, sort of get around. And I just love, you just sort of do a little bit of self-love. That energy releasing going on is absolutely amazing when you start just kind of feeling that. You can do your gratefulness, especially if you're finding that you're stuck in a feeling where you're say being judgmental, you're noticing that your vibration's off, you're feeling drawn down in that masculine energy, you're feeling drawn down in that I gotta go, I can't rest, I can't really take a moment and just be sort of grateful. Feel the fact that, you know what, I am supported. I can have a little rest right now. I can allow myself to actually enjoy this moment. I will, I get to. I am so lucky I have this warm bedding. Taking a few minutes, if you're feeling charged up, to be able to sort of pivot into trying to think of something either positive about the situation or something that you're just grateful for that has absolutely nothing to do with the situation. Just simply switching that vibration is enough to make sure that you don't get wobbled off too far, to make sure that you're not getting dragged on. Because these last probably 10 days or so, a lot of people have been saying, especially that I haven't worked with yet, I've done a few new calls and they're like, I feel like I'm taking 2 steps forward and then 3 back. And even for people, even some coaches and stuff that have gone really far, they're like, I feel like I'm more stuck than I ever was. I don't know what the heck happened lately. I don't even know. Like, it's been really profound shifts. And a lot of that does have to do with this whole career changing, this whole cosmic energy that's going on. So the more grounded and balanced we can stay, and the more in our feminine state of allowance, the less we're going to be worrying about what's going on, and the less we're going to be worrying about what's going on with the people around us and what they may be thinking of us. We're literally going to be able to have that support, to feel it to be a little easier to do that self-care right now. So being able to let go any of these blocks, let go any of these things that we may be kind of carrying around that just aren't serving us anymore. We're going to allow that to happen today, almost like a kind of like a little feminine energy healing side of the scale where we don't usually go into. Now, one of the things that you may feel with feminine energy, or you may know that physically things are coming up, because physically the body's kind of taken a bit of a hit in this last little bit too. So for a lot of people, they've been feeling things in the body that they either thought they had gotten rid of or maybe have never even been an issue before. A lot of times it's been old stuff coming up though, where it's weird pains in the body, or the back is aching a little bit. Things on the left side generally indicate the feminine side. Things on the right side generally indicate the masculine side. Unless we're dealing with brain. With brain, we tend to associate the left side with the masculine, the logic, and the right side with the feminine, with the creativity. So it's almost like this sort of yin yang energy. And when we can actually bring that feminine energy up and out again, for some of us, it's never been out. And I want us to think for a moment, just as we kind of drop into this space, about the connection that we've had with ourselves. And for those of you that are up for it, I feel like just kind of jumping right on into the superconscious field, just kind of jumping into closing our eyes and just feeling and just absorbing and just sort of acknowledging some of the beautiful things that have made us who we are. And I want us to just acknowledge for a moment some of the really interesting things that we've done, like maybe some of the things that we had created at one time. Like maybe we used to make jewelry, or maybe we used to, do you ever remember making bracelets as a kid, or having some fun just kind of sitting outside? And what are some of the things that you really enjoyed doing as a little girl, as a little boy, as a little child? But I'm feeling like, those creative things that you used to do? What are the things that used to sort of interest you? Did you like drawing styles, like for a fashion show? Did you like creating outfits? Did you like putting pins on things in the 80s? Did you like colorful scarves? What kind of things did you enjoy doing as a child? Just get into some of the fun feelings that you used to have. And I want us to imagine being a young child and just having that wonder, having that feel of just not having any cares in the world. Perhaps it was actually around an animal. I feel like for some of us, it would have been when we were connecting with animals or caregiving in a way. And I want us to think about our divine feminine essence and just noticing now what our childhood was like. And were we told a lot about our cycles or our infradian rhythms or our power as a woman? Were we taught to encourage loving ourselves and even loving other people? What were some of the things that were sort of put on that fun little creative little child, or not? Was it silent? Was it just noticing? I want us to just acknowledge the way that our parents raised us, whoever raised us, however we wound up finding our way in this world. I want you to just for a few moments, thanks, Lana. I want you to just for a few moments think about how things were for you as you were growing up, and what you were told and what you weren't told, and what you were sort of forced to find out on your own. And I want you to just feel the divine feminine energy in your body as almost like a percentage of what you were allowed to tap into. Like, was it muted, or was it like, yeah, your parents were all in? I have one friend who at 13, they were sending her to tantric sessions with adults where they were naked in a room and exploring each other's bodies. That's 100%. Or was it zero? Were we not taught anything? Were we sort of maybe even told it was wrong, or maybe felt that it was wrong? I want you to just look at your beliefs of growing up. And I want you to just notice how, as you've grown, you're finally getting this chance to sort of open up doors that were never opened. And whatever those are for you is absolutely right. Nothing was ever wrong. We're just noticing some of the closed off energies, some of the doors that we may be ready to open, some of the skins that we may be ready to shed, some of the protective layers that were put on that really aren't serving us anymore. And when we go into healing the feminine wounds, I'm going to invoke frequency number 5 in the matrix energetics. And you don't need to know what that is, but it's a frequency that operates on energy like absolutely everything else. It's a vibration. And it's a soft pink color. And we're going to allow this frequency to start to just resonate in our body. And I want us to imagine right now, if you haven't yet, I want you to just sort of take a couple of nice deep breaths. And we're just going to ground ourselves, and we're just going to connect into the beautiful energy, beautiful frequency number 5, which is almost like tuning to the radio station. So we're going to try and pretend that we're tuning to radio station number 5. which means all those other radio stations are just going to become quiet. We're just going to allow radio station number 5 to start to play. We may hear it, we may feel it, we may see it. We can envision a beautiful pink rose type of color. This is the universal energy. This is the universal essence. And I want you to imagine that down in your hips, in your pelvis, we have our root energy center where all our familial stuff is stored. I want you to imagine right now that it's almost like an umbilical cord is coming out of your pelvis, right down out of your tailbone, and it's able to tap down into the core of the earth, into Mother Gaia, to that beautiful crystalline energy. Noticing that that is the energy of frequency number 5, and just allowing that umbilical cord to be able to draw all the energy needed from the middle of the earth, from the earth's heart, and bring it right up through your beautiful anchor that you are dropping down into that crystalline energy. And imagine that that beautiful pink frequency is starting to fill and resonate in every cell of your body, starting down at your feet. It's like your toes almost start to tingle as you feel that beautiful earth's energy connect with your feet. Just tapping you into the earth's energy. And allow that frequency to start moving up your body, feeling it come up through the bottoms of your feet, the tops of your feet, and your ankles. Almost like it's resonating with every cell, and it's able to start to transmit, transmute, clear, and heal every single cell in your body. Starting at the feet and the path that you've been walking, and just noticing that energy down in your feet. Noticing that direction in life that you're going, and allow the beautiful maternal energy to start just embracing you. And cleaning and clearing all of that energy coming up into your legs and into your knees. And allowing that beautiful knee chakra to end up being embraced in that gorgeous energy. Imagine what the frequency of the earth would sound like if you were standing on the edge of a beach and you were just simply watching the most gentlest of waves ripple in and just cover your feet. Those waves are pure feminine divine energy, and as they touch your feet, you can feel it just washing over your whole body, cleansing your whole energy system. Starting at the feet, just allowing that energy to move all the way up into your knees. Noticing the rippling of water and imagining your body standing there and almost being moved gently with the water. And allowing Earth's beautiful energy, that beautiful pink rose, gorgeous light, start to come up into your thighs and move through your pelvis into your root chakra. And noticing this beautiful energy down in the root, imagine this frequency, this pink light, this beautiful rose crystalline light, starting to emanate through every cell, starting to heal all of those little energetic structures, allowing it to heal a lot of the traumas that are ready to be healed right now. Any of those traumas where things were completely out of your control, completely even out of your field, perhaps they aren't even yours. The traumas from the womb lie in here. Thoughts of into your energy system. Thoughts around your energy system. Beliefs. Family ties, family rules. I'm just going to hold this space for a moment as we gently allow this light to simply heal any of those traumas that are still settled in that energetic tissue. That we're ready to let go of. Noticing any twinges or any flutters in that area. A lot of times there's a beautiful release that happens. We're going to send some love down into that hip area, into that womb, into all of those organs and all of those systems, all of the muscle tissue. Cleaning and clearing and transmuting anything that is just ready to be let go right now. Receive a breath in allowing some of those things to release by just breathing in through your nose and breathing out through your mouth. Noticing if there's any discomfort in that area, being grateful that your system has done what it has done. Being grateful that your system is exactly as it's supposed to be. Just choosing the light to come and wash away anything in that area. On an energetic level, on a conscious and unconscious level. And super conscious, please treat anything in this root chakra that may have been missed. Tagging it. And just moving into that sacral chakra, just allowing these new light energies to start coming through, these new pillars of light that are starting to shine and starting to emanate from that umbilical cord, coming up through your root chakra, and just noticing your whole body starting to want to just fill with this light. This light is that true divine light that is able to cleanse, clear, heal, and shift anything in that sacral plexus that's ready to be moved right now. A lot of our limiting beliefs, a lot of our fears, a lot of our worry sits in this area, allowing the colon and all surrounding organs, pancreas, liver, adrenal glands, just allowing those to reset, clean and clear out any energy from past lives, from all timelines. And receiving a breath as the allowance of any energy moving through that area. And notice if anything comes up in and around that area with discomfort or pain. And I want you to actually imagine light moving into that area right now. Almost like it's being drawn to that area and starting to light it up, like plasma moving through a body, just allowing all this beautiful crystalline energy to move through. And allowing this light to fill the solar plexus. The solar plexus is this beautiful energy center right above the belly button where our greatest wishes and desires are. And I want you to notice some of your desires that have been coming up. I just want to, if I could just notice some of those desires that are coming up. And underneath, what are those buts? What are they really? I want you to imagine that you are standing on that beach with those waves just rippling in. Tap into that divine feminine energy washing over you. the collective feminine energy of water. I want you to imagine that you can feel the wind pushing against you ever so slightly, feeling that divine feminine energy of the air. Feel how that air holds you, almost as though it's wrapping itself around your shoulders. And I want you to imagine that light moving up through your chest and allowing your whole chest cavity to simply relax in that light right now, in that warm hug, that embrace from nature itself. Feeling that support, feeling that divine energy, and noticing right now that it has always been there. You can feel it right now. You can notice it. You can feel where your shoulders and divine energy connect and almost turn into each other. Feeling that divine energy tapping through like columns of light, just spreading through your whole body. Feel it spreading down your arms and your elbows, your forearms and your wrists and every single finger. Feeling that beautiful light, cleaning, clearing, and transmuting anything in these energy centers throughout the whole heart and solar plexus. I want you to tap in to those feelings of guilt and those feelings of shame that are still lingering. It's like they're holding the heart in this cage. Acknowledge right now where they may be coming from. And ask for a positive outcome from that situation. Ask for a positive teaching. And receive that breath, knowing that it is. Feeling your breath into your body, I want you to fill your belly up. Fill up your chest. Allow that energy to start swirling around the chest area, allowing that feminine divine soul that you are to finally come out of that prison, to finally be seen, to understand that you deserve these good things to happen, to understand that you are here to receive these things. You always have been. I want you to choose right now to allow your whole energetic being to be in the vibration of receiving, allowing, acceptance, understanding, of course, you are worthy. Understanding that your true light is these ripples. My cats are going so crazy, I'm sorry. And notice that as these waves are coming towards you as you're standing on that beach, they're also moving away from this beautiful ebb and flow. You are one with this water. You are not separate. You are one with the air, and just allowing the receiving of this finally to come in through your body. When women When women grow, when women shift, when women receive, what they are capable of is amazing. Imagine what you can receive. Imagine what you could do with that. Imagine how that would feel to really finally allow that. With nothing from the past being able to take you back. Nothing from those past timelines, and just allowing anything else to be released right now from that heart center. Moving up into the throat and allowing these beautiful pillars of light to start to encompass your throat, your jaw, your ears, where your divine feminine energy allows you to tap into love, tap into acceptance. The judgments are gone, allowing those to move through. Allowing yourself to be that true divine essence. And I want you to imagine in your head right now, being your true divine essence, your feminine energy, maybe moving to a song you like, maybe feeling sensual, maybe feeling like your body is so connected, like you're actually letting the earth move you. Just picturing that in your mind. I want you to notice an old skin start to separate from the top of your head, like an old skin, maybe a costume, maybe that costume you always had to wear, maybe that person the family knew you as, that old safe skin suit that you wore. And I want you to imagine it either unfolding, unzipping, just separating and allowing this beautiful Russian doll inside to be able to come out. And just noticing that skin slipping away, coming down over your crown chakra, your third eye. And as it lifts over your head, it's like this veil is lifted off, this light, this frequency, this vibration, this new emanating. You can hear it, you can feel it, you can sense it. Perhaps you can even see it. Perhaps it has a color. Perhaps this new skin suit looks like you, but is different. I want you to notice what's underneath as that skin just simply falls away down into the water. And just like nature, it's absorbed beautifully down into the water. Again, you may see color. You may see a spirit animal come in the water to help you absolve this. You can even step out of it. You can step beside, you can step behind. Perhaps you'd like to go sit on the beach and just enjoy this new skin suit that you're wearing, this new divine feminine goddess that you are, this new empowered spirit that is here to share your energy with the world. This divine being that is tapped in and tuned in and turned on to every moment, not operating unconsciously. This divine being that has a smile on her face. This divine being that has the power to create whatever it is she wants. And if she's creating something that she's not liking, she's able to take a look at it through that divine feminine energy that has always been inside. And now with clarity and with that third eye, that pressure perhaps in between your forehead, I want you to notice that behind your eyes, it's almost like a flame, a beautiful violet flame. That violet flame is tapped into your divine energy. So if ever you're feeling off, if ever you're in a bit of a crisis, If ever your vibration is not that of this divine goddess that it is right now, you can simply close your eyes and picture that beautiful purple flame. You can tap into her whenever you need to. Be able to take control of your emotions. Go into a quiet area, take a few nice deep breaths, close your eyes. Envision that purple flame. And imagine it lighting up your third eye, your crown chakra, where you can really see the wisdom, where you can really feel the intuition. You can tap into your inner knowing. And I want you to imagine these pillars of light that have been moving through your body to start to fill your head with the most beautiful light as your body just starts to glow. I'm just going through and cleaning and clearing any cords still tied in. I'm just noticing and forgiving our own mothers. Knowing their mothers and their mothers before. And understanding that, like us as mothers or as leaders, as mentors, as women, we've never intended to cause harm on anyone. And allowing some forgiveness for ourselves when we've been on a vibration where we didn't want to be, when we reacted. Really allowing ourselves forgiveness for that. And noticing that we are able to now tap into our inner knowing, perhaps help others to not struggle maybe like we did. Perhaps to just reduce some of that struggle for ourselves in our everyday lives and the people around us. I want you to again envision yourself as this new, beautiful, feminine light that nothing will be able to snuff out. Allowing the receiving of the feminine energy, understanding the importance of the feminine energy in this world, and understanding the greatest lesson that if our cup is not full, we simply cannot share it. This has so much meaning right now. If things are not progressing like you want, are you doing what you need to be doing for yourself? What action could you be taking to make sure that you keep this divine feminine energy as sacred as we know it is? Fine-tuned to the vibration of love and gratitude. I'm going to teach you a way right now. We're just going to go into a small gratitude. I end up calling it a gratitude portal, where we just literally look into that flame and think about a few things that we're really grateful for. Think about the fact that we have water. I'm so grateful for the ability to just turn on the tap and have fresh water and a fridge full of fresh food. I'm so grateful for my family, teenagers and all, because they teach me lessons every day. Feeling gratitude for our nice warm beds that we are so lucky to be living in. Feeling the gratitude for having a roof over our house, our heads, our houses, our vehicles, all our clothes. Look at all the abundance we have. Look at all the abundance we've been able to receive. And now it's time to allow more. And just simply allowing that. I just choose to allow abundance in any way, receiving in every way. Relationships, love, self-love, answers. And while you're so strong in the field, if there's any system, any structure you're looking for guidance in right now, whether it's health, whether it's relationships, whether it's what do I just need to do, now is a beautiful time to ask. What is the next thing I need to do to just move towards what I want? Maybe as simple as drinking water. And when you're ready, you can take a few nice deep breaths. If there's any discomfort in the body, just notice, send your breath down to that area. A lot of times things do come up just to actually be treated. They'll hang out in a certain spot in the body. The energy is so strong in this group. I can feel it like it's just pulling. It's just beautiful. A few more things that just kind of need some clearing, some increasing of energy. There's been a lot of feeling very drained. There's been a lot of just drained. So I'm just literally, I feel like I'm filling up a fountain right now, like a waterfall, and it's just getting primed and it's ready to just start flowing over. There's some stuff with mom at the end there that I just really wanted to be able to clean and clear in the field there. So thank you everyone so much for joining us. I'm going to stop the recording. And in your lower back and tailbone, yes, absolutely. That low back and tailbone, it's especially huge in receiving because that's where a lot of our financial stuff sits. That it's like that sort of lower, the tailbone, and then like the SI joints that are sort of right across there. They'll just ache. This is ready to be released, Karen. It's so see that energy, see that light, like breathe into it, almost picture that rose pink light, almost like just kind of moving in like plasma, you know. And there's another fun frequency. I brought in number 5 at first, which is the matrix energetics ones. Number 4 is really cool. It's like a mud pack, and you can literally almost pretend you're picking up this like botanical mud and just packing into the areas that are needing that, and it'll just allow that. But it's literally coming up because it's ready to be shifted. I get excited when people get low back pain because I'm like, yes, this is ready to be let go. And that's exactly why it's very structural in there. And it's not always finances, but sometimes it's like you've got a lot of big purchases coming up and things are just kind of all at once. It can be very overwhelming for the body. And so it's got some space to make in there. So that's beautiful. The bath will be good too for that. Sorry, I'll open that chat back up there. Oh, you're so sweet. Oh, you're so sweet. I love you guys. Salt taste. Oh, I love it. See, when vibration turns, that law of vibration that I was talking about, it's always there, but we want to we need to be able to put it into one of our senses to be able to really wrap our head around. So the fact that we can feel it in our bodies, and the fact that we can taste the salt, and the smell that gentle ocean, like that's beautiful. That's that vibration finally coming through our bodies. Like, we've heard all this stuff, we know all this stuff, but sometimes when you hear it at that right time and you can do a little bit of releasing to be able to let some of that stuff in, it shifts stuff. It makes it sort of finally kind of happen. And it's like this month is just, we're just ready. It's just, if we could just, chill the heck out a little bit and not be so tough on ourselves, and wait for that, because we've been ordering it. It's ready. It's coming. We just need to sit and wait and enjoy the conversation that we have while we wait for it, because it's coming. We just have to literally stay focused on that, because what are we focusing on, right? If we're focusing all the things that aren't there, then that's why they're not coming. And it's just like, we get this, we know this, so we're ready to integrate it. And having this energy balanced out really makes a big difference. So yay. Oh, you guys are just awesome. I love it. Just reading through. Oh, you're so good. So good. Ah, that makes so much sense, right? Yeah, like if anything needed to be seen, this is 7 planets in retrograde at once. This is welcome to the chaos. That's why I felt I was really called to do this. Like,
Shit's coming up.
shitstorm indeed, right? Like, so we gotta be grounded, ladies. Like, we gotta have the shield up. We know the shitstorm's coming. Let's put on our galoshes and get out our umbrella. It ain't gonna hit us. We're good. Right?
Jackie, I would love to hear if lately it seems out of nowhere, and you know how we love coincidences.
Right.
There's conversations about the indigos, the indigo children, and that whole, and it just kind of makes me think about how quiet, there was a big deal about them when they were born, and then how quiet they seem to have been. But now all of a sudden they're kind of waking up with a vengeance, it feels like.
That's it.
And really practicing the feminine warrior goddess energy that is so attractive to me.
Isn't that beautiful?
I love that energy.
I love it. You're totally right. And it was like about 20 years ago or so, we heard it was all indigo, indigo, indigo. Then the crystal kids came about after that in the next generation. And so they kind of took the lead for a while. But now the indigo kids are waking up. And a lot of us are indigo kids, like depending on where you look at, right? There's definitely, and if you guys haven't heard of that, the indigo kids and all that kind of stuff, it's all literally these children that were born that are to change the world. And some of them are asleep, but most of them are the ones that are kind of waking up now in this whole ascension cycle. Like, it's no coincidence that this is all happening, and they are going to change the world, right? They're almost like magical.
They really are.
Yeah.
One of the most magical thing, and I think everybody who is this attracted to energy work I think
we're probably all indigo kids, to be honest.
Really. What I've noticed is the fight, the direction of the fight, because with the difference between the indigos and the crystals seemed almost to be the crystals felt like that was almost evidence that the indigos did their job,
right?
Just macheting the way, fighting against every rule that anybody had. The fact that it was a rule would make us fight up against it, right? And so we did that. And I think just by living that, we changed the structures. So now our beautiful crystal kids are going to school, and the mama bears, the indigo mama bears, I think are what I'm hearing from a lot recently. And it's just really fascinating to me to see how I personally have fought with my voice. I've fought a lot as a teenager. I have fought either against, the status quo and the normal, fought against, being weird until finally just accepting it. And now watching as our kids are going through that is very eye-opening for me. That's
It
why I
is.
love the conversation tonight. And
I love
I
it.
saw that on Facebook and was like, it's perfect timing. It
I
just
love
is.
it.
It's all exactly what I've been talking to other people about, what I've been feeling, what I've been going through.
I
It's
love it.
it's right there on the horizon. You nailed it. You
So
really
good.
did.
So good. Yeah, the one thing I will say with that too is that the beautiful thing is that we get to be warriors, but we don't have to choose a life of struggle. You know, often when you're a warrior, it means a life of struggle because you're always fighting for something. But if you're fighting, for, the rights of others, if you're fighting for, we can choose to not struggle at the same time. We can choose to be in that vibration of love and be a warrior in that sense, where that's where our power is, not in warrior and focusing on all the shit that we can't change, right? We're
But
these indigo kids are focusing on what we
that's
can
where I'm
change.
learning.
And
That's where
that's
I'm
this
just a
work.
baby and just learning
Yes.
this, to
I love it.
realize that I'm allowed to not struggle. What?
Right?
Like,
Like,
but then how am I
it's
gonna earn my worthiness if I don't struggle? Wait, what?
exactly, like this
What?
is what we were trained on, which is why it's so hard to just go, yeah, I'm gonna receive now, I'm gonna be $1 million coach, I'm gonna blah blah, like it just doesn't work like that,
I haven't even earned it yet.
right? So
And
when
then
we
my
understand,
mama comes along and says, what would you say to your kids? I'm like, damn it.
it's all different when you're talking about your kids. Yes, I agree. They teach us. Oh my gosh, do they
Oh,
teach us? And that's what we do need to look at, right? Because it's not them, it's us. And yeah, wow, the lessons are big when we're ready to learn them. And that it's so beautiful. But that's why, it's I love being able to do this on a Friday night, for example. Like this gets me, and that's I think that whole being it to seeing it, this gets me into that frequency so that I am, like if I wasn't doing this all the time, it would be harder to. Like we have a gift, I think, with us that are left on here, we have this gift of being able to like literally change the world in a huge way. And I think a lot of us, the power of that is kind of a scary thing. So to be able to have a place where we can literally just be in like-minded energies is so
and be
important, right?
allowed to be
Yes,
powerful.
exactly.
Where are we allowed to safely feel this powerful and be able to, as women talking about the divine feminine, be able to support other women in a way that is, I mean, because I know I'm changing the world, and I know that I have no capacity to do that by myself.
Yeah,
It's all or nothing. And the same thing, how incredibly powerful we are. And in this place, we're allowed to be powerful. It feels like
exactly.
there's been some kind of I don't, the mama bears, the stay-at-home moms, the career women, there's been a separation of, that worthiness works both ways. And so we've been our own worst enemy. And this kind of work has
Exactly.
given me the opportunity to realize that we're all women,
Yeah,
period. That's
yeah,
where
and
it begins and ends. I
yes,
mean, that's the most important thing, is that we get to that we get to lift each other up. We're not helping each other. We're just doing us, and then supporting you doing you, having how relieving, no, that's the wrong word. How incredible it was to realize how capable the people were. I mean, for a second, I felt a little bit, yeah, I definitely went through I don't get intuitive hits like this. Like I don't get energy work like her. I don't have the vocabulary or I mean, there were so many incredible healers on these calls that I was like, oh, I don't belong here, but I'm going to sit here just to listen, just to be a
oh,
part of the conversation. And then, I mean, we get to do this together. You guys
we
I'm so
do.
glad I came tonight.
We do. I'm
Exactly
so
what I
glad you
needed.
came too. It's huge. It really is. And I love the chat. You guys are just like, uh, this is it's such a gift. It really is such a gift. And we're just growing all together. If we ever think we have it all figured out, we definitely don't have it figured out, but the fact that you can even look at it and break it down like that, like, yeah, that's exactly what will hold us back. You just acknowledged it. You just did hours of therapy in being able to just talk and, be in that space and just be like, the literally consciously acknowledging that and going like, it feels so good when we can build each other up and when we can truly lift each other up from that place, not from that place of, oh, I should go type in so that someone thinks I'm doing so. Like, you really, that's what feeds our soul, is being there for each other and actually, being able to share that love and that energy. So I'm so grateful for you guys allowing me to share some of this love with you tonight. It like truly made my whole weekend, and I can't wait to do next Friday. I really want to dive into the rest of the universal laws, because the law of vibration was really big. I could spend an hour just on that one, but just to sort of help us understand the rest of them, because once you can kind of wrap all the laws, the universal laws in there too, it's really beautiful how it makes a lot of things click. Like, that's a lot of the stuff that's just floating around in my brain. But I really feel like we're gonna do more of a balancing feminine and masculine next week, just to kind of get us ready for the equinox, and then yeah, we'll dive into a bit of the universal laws, just because it's kind of fun when I do my little cosmic review. So excellent. Well, I will let you guys have the rest of your evening. I'm so, so grateful. Take care of yourselves tonight. Do like a nice Epsom salts bath, or throw some rose petals in there. If anyone gave you some roses, just crush it right up and throw it in the bathtub. I love that. And yeah, listen to some good frequency meditation tonight when you try and fall asleep, maybe. It should really keep you guys charged up. Mwah! Love you so much. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you guys next week. Bye, everyone.